Hey everyone, and welcome. This is a special re-edit of an episode from the Sip&Talk podcast, brought to you by our friend Micky. We're going to break down the key insights for you, and trust me, it's a fascinating one. We're going to connect something that happens inside your own head to, well, some of the biggest geopolitical tensions on the planet.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some governments repeat things that should be, well, completely obvious? For instance, China is constantly stating, there is only one China. But doesn't hearing that over and over just make you wonder? I mean, think about it. The US government isn't holding a press conference every week to remind everyone that, yep, New York is still part of America. Of course it is. So what's really going on when someone has to shout something that should be a given? That's the core question we're diving into today.
All right, so let's get into it. The answer, believe it or not, has less to do with politics and everything to do with what's happening right inside your brain. And it all comes down to something called the white bear phenomenon. Okay, look, I want you to try this with me right now. Ready? For the next 10 seconds, I want you to do one simple thing. Do not think about a white bear. Whatever you do, don't picture a big, fluffy white bear. Okay? Go. How'd you do? Pretty impossible, right? The second I told you not to think about it, bam, there it was. That's the whole idea.
So here's the crazy part, how this actually works. It's like your mind splits into two jobs. You've got one part, the operator, that's working really hard to push the thought of the white bear away. But then you have this other part, the monitor, whose only job is to check if you're succeeding. And how does it check? By asking, hey, are we thinking about a white bear? Which, of course, brings the white bear right back to the front of your mind. It's like a mental boomerang. The harder you throw it away, the faster it comes back. And you know what? This isn't some new psychological trick. We've actually known about this for ages. It's right there in Shakespeare. The lady doth protest too much. You know the saying? When someone goes way over the top denying something, it just makes you more suspicious, right? They're trying so hard to hide the white bear that it becomes the only thing anyone else can see. Okay, so now that we've got the psychology down, let's zoom out. Let's see how this exact same mental quirk plays out on the massive stage of geopolitics. Because out there, what someone is desperately trying to get you not to think about, well, that's very often the real story. Just look at the war of words over Taiwan. It's been going on for decades. The US is super careful to say it acknowledges China's position. But China pushes back hard, insisting the US must recognize it. It sounds like a tiny difference, right? But by arguing about it nonstop, by trying to suppress any other possibility, what do they achieve? They make absolutely sure that the Taiwan issue is always in the spotlight. It's the world's biggest diplomatic white bear. And it's not just diplomacy. It's happening in the tech world, too. You hear China proclaiming, we will achieve tech self-sufficiency. But the louder they say it, the more it reminds everyone of their huge dependence on US AI chips. On the flip side, you have the US saying, we're maintaining our absolute lead. But their own regulations are practically forcing China to innovate faster on its own. See? Both sides are protesting too much, and all it really does is broadcast their deepest fears to the entire world. Oh, and the South China Sea is a perfect textbook case. For years, the official line from China was crystal clear. Our island construction is for civilian and peaceful purposes only, a total denial of anything military. And what happened? The more they said nothing to see here, the more the whole world pulled out its satellite binoculars to get a closer look. And surprise, surprise, by 2025, the satellite images showed exactly what they were denying: military-grade air defense systems and runways for fighter jets. The denial didn't just fail, it backfired. It put a giant global magnifying glass right on their military buildup. So, this whole thing actually gets even more interesting. Because when you tell people not to think about something, you don't just make it pop into their head. You can actually make them desire it. This is the classic forbidden fruit effect. It's human nature, right? The second someone tries to take a choice away from you, you instinctively push back. You want that forbidden thing even more. A ban automatically makes something seem more valuable, maybe a little bit dangerous, or like it's some secret truth that the powers that be are trying to hide from you. And in the world of tech, oh boy, this happens all the time. It's a constant game of cat and mouse. You see big companies trying to watermark AI content? Well, that just kicks off a competition in the open source world to build the best de-watermarking tool. The US bans advanced chips from going to China. That just creates a huge, sophisticated black market to smuggle them in.
Every single time someone builds a wall, someone else gets a creative new ladder. Okay, so this has all been fascinating, but let's bring it home. Why should you care about any of this? Because in the world we're living in now, with AI and deepfakes everywhere, understanding this stuff isn't just for fun. It's becoming a basic survival skill. Just look at this number. 300%. That's the increase just in the last year in financial scams using AI-cloned voices, according to a 2025 Bloomberg report. This isn't some science fiction movie plot. This is happening right now. And the scary part is how easy it is. The tech is incredible. A scammer just needs 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds of your voice. Maybe from an Instagram story, a TikTok, a voicemail, and they can create a perfect digital clone of you. A clone that can call your loved ones, sounding panicked, asking for money, and it will sound exactly like you. So what on earth are we supposed to do? Well, it's not hopeless. Here are 3 super simple, practical things you can do right now. First, with your family, create a safe word, something weird and personal that an AI would never guess. Second, if you ever get one of those frantic calls, hang up. Then you call that person back on the number you already have saved for them. Third, and this is the big one, you have to adopt a zero-trust policy for what you see and hear online. Just be skeptical. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. In this crazy, noisy world, the truth often isn't in what's being said, it's in what's being denied, loudly, repeatedly, desperately. So from now on, start looking for the white bears. You'll be amazed at what you find. And that really leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? In a world where voices, videos, anything can be faked perfectly, is our own critical thinking the only real defense we have left?
Hey, thanks so much for digging into this with me. A huge thank you to Micky for sponsoring this breakdown. If you want to keep exploring topics like this, make sure you subscribe to the Sip&Talk podcast, and you can find the link to Micky's channel right in the description below. Thanks again for watching.